Hi! So it's super late on Wednesday, and just a heads up, I'm probably gonna end up making videos every Thursday as opposed to every Wednesday, just because that's kind of how it's been working out, so we'll see. Um, this video is about trial and triumph, more about trial though, and I'm aware that I already did a video on, the struggle is real, but so is God, which is very true. But then I went to Seek, and I've got a lot more to talk about and a lot more to reference now. So, yeah, we're gonna do another one. Okay. I recently, like myself and a couple friends of mine, and perhaps you as well, have recently been going through a hard time, emotionally or spiritually or academically or, something. And it can be hard to kind of persist and push through that and, I guess, retain an active faith life and prayer life, which I think is definitely very crucial to, being able to pull through and come out successfully on the other side, having learned something probably. So I was talking to my friend about it, and I was reminded of one of the talks that I heard on Seek, by Sister Miriam James, and it was called Discernment in Prayer. And by the way, it's one of the talks, obviously it's one of the talks that was on Seek, so I again recommend that you go purchase all of those talks. I believe they're on the Focus website, because they were like really super cool. And there was another one that I didn't get to go to that maybe you can watch. So, yeah. Okay. In her talk, she referenced Lord of the Rings, and if you're not familiar with Lord of the Rings, very early in at the beginning of the adventure, Frodo comes across this very strange ring, and Gandalf the wizard tells him that he has to go and take it out of the Shire and destroy it so that the evil can be, locked away and banished forever. So he goes. Frodo starts leaving, and he's taking his friend Samwise Gamgee along with him. And hobbits in general are not very adventurous, and Samwise is no exception. And so he and Frodo are walking along, and through this beautiful meadow in the film, and Sam stops, and he says, "This is it." And Frodo turns around like, "What's it?" And he says, "If I take one more step, that's the furthest I've ever been away from home." And I think a lot like Sam, we all have troubles kind of taking that first step into the unknown lands, making that first step on the journey, that, jumping out there, taking that leap of faith. For me, there was a similar thing when I was starting this channel. I had a hard time because, I've never done anything like this before. I have no experience with, videos and that kind of thing, obviously, because I'm still just using my phone. If you're hearing yelling in the background, I'm at my Newman Center, and it's kind of loud right now, apparently. Sorry. But yes, so we have a hard time taking that first step and making that leap of faith. And Sister Miriam James, she gave us a quote from Saint Therese, and it goes, "Prayer is a surge of the heart. It is a simple look turned toward heaven. It is a cry of recognition and love, embracing both trial and joy." And I think it's important in our lives that we embrace both trial and joy, because, one without the other, there's no context, and you're not able to fully pursue and develop a very, I think, well-developed faith. If you're all joy and no trial, it can be easy to take the joy for granted. But if you're all trial and no joy, if you reject the trials and have no joy, then it's like, well, what's the point? If you're finding no joy in God, then first of all, what's wrong with you? That was mean, sorry. But if you're finding no joy in God, it's like, what's your motivation? Why are you doing this then? And so, Sister Miriam James posed the question to us: What's my first surge of the heart in the morning? What's my first sentiment? What's the first thing that kind of comes into my head? And for me, a lot of the time, like, I like to sleep in late. So normally the first surge of my heart in the morning is, oh crap, I gotta get to class. Which is not very Christ-centered. So, I think, even if you wake up, even a little bit earlier than you need to, just so that you can start your day in prayer, even just a simple prayer like, hey God, thanks for waking me up today, thanks for giving me another day on this beautiful earth that you've made. Even that, because prayer is, in essence, I think prayer is submitting yourself to God, and thanking Him and praising Him, and really recognizing that He is God, and it's hard to kind of hand over that, like, that authority, so to speak, and so it's kind of important to really recognize that He is God, and to be able to dedicate your day to Him, because I think it's easier to combat the forces of the devil throughout the day if you start your day dedicating it to God, because then it's kind of in your mind for the rest of the day, as opposed to, like, oh, I wake up, I start going and blah, 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 and then later I pray. But then by that time, like, you've already been through whatever struggles you had during the day, and it's kind of, I think it makes it a bit harder to kind of combat all those little negative things that the devil tries to throw and make you stumble over. Sister Miriam James also talked about the voice of Satan versus the voice of God. And that's kind of what I was just talking about, is that the voice of Satan, she said, is fear, hatred, chaos, destruction, discouragement, darkness, isolation, and shame, among other things, obviously. And I think a lot of the time it's very easy to feel that fear, especially with, taking that first step into the unknown. And to, there's obviously been a lot of fear, hatred, chaos, destruction, discouragement, darkness, isolation, and shame. Like, all of those things we have experienced as humans, like, in the past several months, in the past several years, in the past, decade. Like, it's a constant thing that Satan is always trying to get at humanity and tear us down and tear us away from God. But the voice of God, she said, is love, life, trust, openness, truth, peace, joy, light, and faith, among other things, obviously. And just reading those, just like reading that list, it was very kind of refreshing to my soul. And again, like, starting your day in prayer, saying, God, I devote this day to you. I trust you to lead me through the day and lead me through my life. Like, that's a big thing. Like, for me, trusting God is a big thing that I kind of struggle with, because part of it is I'm just like, oh no, I got this. Like, I can take care of this, but I can't on my own. And so it's important to, I think, kind of do that, like, right when you wake up, right when you're starting your day, submit your day to God, trust Him to take care of it, and trust Him to lead you on the path that He wants you to go. And there was a post that I saw on Instagram today from Crown of Beauty magazine, and I'm not sure what Bible they use. Oh, crap. I just dropped something. It's okay. There's a quote that they put on their page today, and I'm not sure what Bible it's from, but it says, "I will not cause pain without allowing something new to be born, says the Lord." It's from Isaiah 66:9. But Isaiah 66:9 in the New American Standard Bible says, kind of similar message. Shall I bring to the point of birth and not give delivery, says the Lord? Or shall I who gives delivery shut the womb, says our God? And it's basically the same thing. He's saying, shall I bring you all this way through all this, growth and kind of discovery and not give you delivery? Or shall I who gives delivery deny it? Like, no, he's not going to do that. So I think, yeah, we have to trust him and offer up our entire lives in prayer. And it is hard. Believe me, like, you probably know this. I know this. Like, it is hard to actually say, yes, God, here's my day. Here's my life. Like, to actually submit everything to him. It's easy to say it, but not so easy to do it. But yeah, I think it's especially relevant just because, like, I've had trials recently. Other people have had trials recently. Maybe you've had trials recently, and you feel the voice of Satan with that isolation or the shame or the fear or the chaos or destruction or, all this stuff. But I think it's important to combat that with, love, trust, openness, truth, peace, joy, light, faith, all this stuff. Combat the voice of Satan with the voice of God, who is almighty and worthy of all praise. So yeah, I'm going to close this out because it's getting kind of late and I need to go home. But I'm going to keep y'all in my prayers. Please message me if you need me to pray for something specific, or just be like, hey, can you pray for me? And I'll be like, absolutely. So yeah, peace out. Love you.